it is behind cleansing of our body. It when it gets the what we call time, when first of all its top priority is on digestion. Whenever we put or eat something, it gives the priority. It immediately rushes to the digestion. This thing, like female or women, usually their priority is to the kitchen. So when they get the time from the kitchen, they look after the other this thing like that. Our vital power, when we give the time, like we don't eat something for like one day or something, our vital power starts cleansing or it works on the other parts of the body. So that is why we find like giddiness, headache, something like vomiting sensation. These are all the things that our vital power is working on those this thing. And uh, the maximum time you can be on the fasting and you don't feel anything, it means that your body is perfectly all right. You can pull on, like how we pull on till 7 or 9 days, it is on the water only. So we have many other this thing also. I'll also elaborate on those things in a session, like how we do that 8 or 9 days of fasting only on water. And that too, we from 1st of December, if the COVID this thing is okay. So from 1st December to 7th December, we every year we have a what we call uh, Padayatra. We say that we go walking for about 250 to 300 kilometers. So we start on 1st December, we end on 7th December, and all in between this thing, we walk about 250 to 300 kilometers like that. So on an average 25, 30 kilometers or more than that per day. That too only we drink water, that too only twice, either 11 a.m. in the morning and 7 or in between 7 to 8 in the evening. Like, so it has got a scientific this thing. I can tell you about the fasting, what we call ritual, what we do. In those things, those period we cleanse our body also. Like we do Vaman also. We take anema also. Then we do meditation also. We take bath with cold water, two times bathing with cold water only. We take the napkins and we just what we call rub our body with that napkin gently. With that, it our body's pores get opened, like on the skins the pores are there that gets open, and whatever things the body needs, it takes from the what we call the surrounding only.
Universe.
So that is why we don't need too much of water. Then like that it is. So I'll when the session will be there for the fasting, I'll explain it in details, like
And it feels great now. Actually,
yes, yes.
that is why I recommend it highly, because it is from my experience. I am telling you, I highly recommend. Please try. One day you try it, and then maybe there will be some challenges like headache and other things, as you mentioned, even vomiting sensation and all that. But then don't succumb to that. And then, in
uh,
spite of all these things, you somehow manage for that day. And if required, you don't do anything and then be at home. That's all.
mm.
Nowadays, anyway, since everybody is at home, then it may not be that difficult. Choose a day as per your own convenience.
We feel elevated, sir. बहुत ही बढ़िया लगता है. We feel like
Yes,
anything,
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
every year we are fasting twice in a this thing, like that Chaitra, this thing is there, what we call Navratri, as
Mm.
well as there is Shardeya Navratra. So in both this thing, at that time the climate changes, like ऋतु बदलता है, तो उस टाइम पे हम लोग फास्टिंग करते हैं, and it helps, like the whole year वो उसको cover कर देता है. And I experience, like sound sleep. When I'm on fasting, I have a very nice sleep. बट व्हेन आई स्टार्ट ईटिंग एवरीथिंग, सो स्लीप का वो डिसऑर्डर या फिर हमको वैसा साउंड स्लीप नहीं मिलता है सर. व्हेन आई फास्ट, उस टाइम पे वो 7 or 8 days, मैक्सिमम आई कैन से 15 days, लाइक ट्वाइस वी फास्ट. सो दैट 15 days मेरे लिए तो बहुत, मैं जन्नत में रहता हूँ, एकदम पूरा इसमें रहता हूँ सर.
या एम्प्टी स्टमक में बहुत बढ़िया
बहुत बढ़िया है सर.
वेरी गुड स्लीप एम्प्टी
यस,
स्टमक
Yeah,
यस.
in fact, Sadhguru says that in empty stomach, your mind works at the peak.
या एट पीक, राइट. You won't
Yes,
get
Sagar ka ma'am, please
negative
go ahead.
thoughts. Yeah, you won't get destructive thoughts. You won't get negative thoughts. You will be always positive. You will be motivated. You will be inspired. The food is the main culprit, sir.
Yeah.
Food, what we eat, and that too, it should be taken in proper quantity, sir. We feel our stomach like anything, sir. हमारा घर जो है, how we manage our house, like whatever things we see, like in the shop or something like furniture or whatever thing, बहुत पसंद आता है क्या? हम लोग सब कुछ लाते हैं क्या? वो घर में नहीं लाते हैं सर. We bring only those things which we can accommodate it properly. But हमारा पेट जो है, we just keep on dumping 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 dumping, उसको हमको कूड़ा कचरा बना दिया है वहाँ पे. सो बिकॉज ऑफ इलनेस हमें को क्यों आता है कि या मक्खी भी, या फिर वो जो बोलते हैं गंदगी जहाँ पे रहता है वहीं पे मक्खी कीड़ा मकोड़ा जो भी होता है, तो जहाँ पे गंदगी है, वैन गंदगी हमारे पेट में होती है तभी हमको इलनेस आता है, तो नहीं तो हम लोग नहीं होते. जो अगर हमारा पेट अगर प्रॉपर है, हमारा बॉडी अगर प्यूरिफाइड है, तो हमको वो इलनेस या फिर हमको बीमारी नहीं छू सकती है सर. इट इज इन इट इज वेरी इजी टू व्हाट वी कॉल कि बीमार पड़ना जो है वो बहुत इजी है सर. बहुत ही इजी है. क्योंकि हम लोग वो कितना खाते हैं, क्या खाते हैं, क्यों खाते हैं, कब खाते हैं, नो टाइमिंग, नो क्वांटिटी, नो क्वालिटी, नथिंग. सिर्फ हम लोग उसको खा रहे हैं सर.
And again, one more thing is, then if you are thinking that okay, tomorrow I am doing Ekadasi or fasting, then the previous day you should not eat heavily, because some people do that. Really, tomorrow I have to be entire day, then I am actually doing fasting. So let me have a full stomach or maybe more than that. You should have moderately on the previous night also.
Right.
And my mother used to do it for all along, and even she died at 75 years or so. And till last day, then she was doing this. And then, but she was having one fruit at the night somewhere around 8 o'clock. And every this Ekadashi, she used to do that full fasting. And one fruit, maybe banana or apple or something like that. But somehow, actually,
Yes, Vinayak sir.
Yes, sir.
In the interest of time, let's move on.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One more
Sagarika
thing.
madam has
I think,
raised
Sagarika
That
madam.
is why we took that.
No, you go ahead, Madhu Babuji. I just wanted to say the neuroscience aspect of the head aching during fasting is because the brain is used to that kind of food and water. So suddenly when you don't give it, it reacts. So that reaction is nothing but headache. So this is the neuroscience aspect of the headache during fasting. That's it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, Sanjay sir, can I proceed? Okay. So I think everybody must be familiar with this story, whatever I'm going to share. So this story is like an old story. There will be one Raja and one Mantri. You all know, right? The old stories will have Raja, Mantri and everything. So Raja and Mantri will be very close. They keep doing everything together. They go for hunting and all. So one day they successfully come back from the hunting, and Raja wanted to treat his Mantri. So while cutting vegetables, what happens? While talking to Mantri, by mistake, Raja cuts his thumb completely. His thumb is cut down completely. It is removed from his body. And looking at that, Mantri says, it's for good only. So this makes Raja very furious and ask him to put him in the prison. So his people will take the Mantri and put him in the prison. Next time, what happens when Raja has to go for hunting? Since he used to go always with this Mantri, this time he will go alone. He will go alone to the forest. So when he goes alone to the forest, tribal people will catch him, and there will be some festival going on in this tribe. They decide to give him as a sacrifice. So when they make him ready for the sacrifice, just before the sacrifice, one of this tribal fellow observes that he does not have this thumb. So he thinks that, so this is not good for us. So let us leave him. And they will release that guy, because he is not a complete man, because he did not have the thumb. And then when he goes back, he will be happy. Raja will be happy that he has been saved, and he realizes that he has been saved because he did not have thumb. And then he thinks that Mantri has told him that whatever happens is for good only. Then he will calls the Mantri, and then Mantri says, you have put me in the prison, that is also good for me. If I have come with you, I am complete, and they would have killed me. So that's the story. Now you can talk about the story. So basically what it says is, whatever happens, that's for good only. So you need to accept everything in life and move on. Whatever happens, it's for good only. Like yesterday we heard Sagarika madam story, right? All that might be related to that one only. Like what jo bhi hota hai hamare liye balai hai. Yes, over to you. My story is completed. Like very short story.
It's all destination.
Yeah. Destination. Sir, go ahead, sir.
Okay,
Right.
I would like to also state this. It is my life principle also, and I propagate this and I live according to this also. That all things work for the good. And two very powerful Bible verses which I follow in this is one is from the letter of Saint Paul to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, which says, "All things work for the good for those who believe in God, who are called according to his purpose." When you believe in God and you are living your calling and purpose as per the divine calling that you have, then everything works for your good because you are connected in that way. One more verse which comes from is Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 11 and 12, which also says that, you know, God is telling you that I have plans for you, plans for your welfare, not for your destruction, plans for a hope and a future. So these are the two things which really inspired me, and based on that, the daily declaration that I make, that only good things are coming to me, only good things are coming to me, only good things are coming to me. So good things happen. Sometimes they may not be as per what we hoped for, something that we may have aspired for. They don't happen that way. But when you are having this positive mindset that only good is going to come out of it, then good comes out of that. And only these two sentences which I recite every day throughout the day, only good things are coming to me and only great glorious people are coming into my life, it has brought about so much positivity in the last few years that really nobody comes in my life who is detrimental, who is creating a problem, who is doing anything. Everywhere there is reconciliation, everything good is happening. If events take place, I say it's happening for the good, don't worry. And some good I see out of that. So yes, the story is very powerful, that whatever be the outcome of whatever is happening every day, good will come out of it. Now people ask me कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ, कुछ अच्छा नहीं हुआ, something wrong. In my counseling sessions, I guide them like that when you say that something has happened, why it has happened to me? Why to me only? Can you give me an answer? So, it's a very difficult situation because sometimes people really go through a major catastrophe in their life. Like I met a lady recently whom I was counseling, she lost her 3-year-old son. उसको मैं क्या, I cannot tell her all things work for your good. I cannot tell her. Oh, so she was already in a mental wreck. She said, why this happened to me? Why God has to do this for me? Why God did this to me only and not to anybody else? And these are situations we see in our life, where people are going through such kind of problems. How do you talk to them? What consolation can you give? How you can bring them out from that? So I told her one very simple thing. I said, this answer I cannot give you, that why this has happened to you. But believe me one thing only, that God is not punishing you. God is like our parent, He's our father, He's our mother. God always is loving you. Why this has happened to you, I cannot tell you. Nobody else in this world can tell you why this has happened to you. But if you connect and if you ask the Almighty Creator, God Himself, whatever, ask Him directly. Go sit alone and ask Him, plead, why this happened to me. 100% He will tell you exactly why this happened to me and what is the outcome, good that will come out of that also. He can explain to you, and once He explains to you, you will never have a doubt and you will be able to accept the circumstances and move forward in life and not keep staying in that state of mind. So this has helped many people when they really went into that conversation, that connection of asking the creation, okay, what is this, why this has happened, and they received the answer. Very positive answers were received by them, and they could really get over that depression on their own, or that melancholy that was there. This dramatic drastic events of children losing both their parents suddenly, or parents losing their very small children, or somebody at a young age losing a spouse. How can you say that this is for my good, that God is doing good for me? Nobody can give that answer. We can only just talk to them, and क्या मैं उनको जवाब दूंगा. तो ये चीज को थोड़ा अगर हम लोग रखेंगे दिमाग में, it works. Thank you.
Yeah, over to you, Sangle sir.
Yes, sir.
Next will be Vidhu sir.
Your story, we have heard also, we have experienced many times, The main this thing, my it is my own experience. Like it happened like 2 years back. We are from the government this thing job, so we are always having some other this thing responsibilities also. Like main thing is election duty. We have every election, like it though it might be of corporations, then gram panchayat or panchayat, whatever thing is there, then this lok sabha, vidhan sabha, like that. So 2 years back, usually about 4 to 5 years, I was not having any duty, election duty. But the what we call our colleagues who were a little bit jealous of me, they just sent my name to the election commission, and I got that duty. Till it was, I think, 2019 this thing. So that was what we call Vidhan Sabha elections. What we call member of parliament, and the other is constituency, that. So that duty, I was deputed on that duty. So we had two three this thing what we call trainings, and till the what we call the election was something on 7th or something. Till 5th, I was not having any duty. I was just in a what we call reserved quota. So I was thinking, instead of sitting in the reserve quota is like, wherever they want at the emergency, they send us anywhere, like, so instead of that, I was thinking like I should get the duty. I should get the duty, like, I should be deputed somewhere, like, So till 6th also, I was on hanging position only. On 7th, before the election, one day before that thing, I was deputed in a Kasba constituency. There is a constituency in Pune, this thing, district. So I was deputed on Kasba constituency. तो मैं बोला कि अरे यार, अपने को ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, कस्बा मिल गया है तो जाएंगे वहाँ पे. So that constituency was they what we call, एक ऐसा project उन्होंने किया था, that was a online voting type, that was what we call they were having the ballot paper also, as well as that electronic thing, which we were managing from the device itself. It was the second type of pilot project, which was particularly only in that constituency. So I was the first person to report everything and complete the poll and everything. I was the first person from the about 900 booths. I was the first person. I was awarded, like, a certificate type of thing. Ki Baba, you have done a very great thing, and you are the first to do adopt new this thing. So I was awarded that thing. Immediately after finishing the election, the very next day I was having a counting duty. Again, the people gave my name for counting this thing also. So again, I was a little bit depressed. Sorry, I have not finished this, because we have to stay on the booth. The booth, there are no facilities, or we cannot stay properly. There are no facilities of toilet, bathrooms. There is no sleeping this thing. So I was literally very much disturbed. अरे ये क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ में, क्यों ऐसा है? I got that was my first counting duty in my entire 36 years of service. So I was literally disturbed. I was asking God, why me, why me, why me, like, So this thing, counting day came. I was not deputed there. Also, I was in a reserve this thing. So again, on the very same day of the counting, I went to the counting center. When I went inside, that time also I was in the reserve this thing. I told God, what is this, Baba? Reserve में बैठना है, कुछ काम नहीं करना है. That is not in my principle. So I want something, like, So I was after the counting was this thing was to begin in the early in the morning. I was there at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, like, So I was deputed on a postal ballot. This thing, counting of that, I was the head of that thing. I was above the central government micro observers also. I was the in charge of that particular postal ballot counting this thing, particular thing. So after that counting everything, by 11:30, my postal ballot counting was over. I handed over all the my what we call results and everything to the authority. I finished everything. I was sitting quietly. I was because of sleep. This thing, I was feeling a little bit drowsy or sleepy, like that. And I was just closing my eyes, and I was just like I felt sleep. I don't know how, but I felt sleep in that counting booth only. And immediately my name was announced. Like, I thought Yashwant Sangle, they called, and I was stunned. Like, I thought they have seen me like, sleeping in that duty. So I didn't recognize why they have called me. So again, this thing what acknowledged that ballot paper, this thing, you have done a great job. And they were having some problem with the writing on the what we call envelopes. They had the work of writing everything, like 242 this thing Parvati constituency, then total votes, total this thing, like that. It was a big size of envelopes, and that was my, what we call, because of the calligraphy I performed a very I done a very great job there. After that thing, again one thing happened, like they issue the certificate to the winning candidates, those who are amdar we called, no. So उनको सर्टिफिकेट्स देते हैं, तो वो अगेन दे कॉल्ड मी कि इनका हैंडराइटिंग बहुत अच्छा है, टेल देम टू राइट दैट थिंग. सो आई रोट द सर्टिफिकेट ऑफ द आमदार हु इज माधुरी मिसाल फ्रॉम Parvati constituency. And what happened after that thing, the media came, and media people went through all the other counting constituencies. They saw the certificates, and when they came to our Parvati constituency, when they saw the certificate, they say that we saw all the certificate of the other constituency. We want who has written this thing certificate. We want to meet that person. So like that, they came to me, they interviewed me, and in the very next day, this thing major this thing newspapers, my photo and my article was there. So I reached about 4 to 5 lakh people, more than 5 lakh people through the this thing. So everything happens for the good. So I was first of all panicking for the election duty, then for the counting duty. But God's divine plan is something different. We cannot understand. So that time I came to
Awesome,
know.
sir. Awesome.
Yeah. So then I prayed gratitude to God that your planning is divine and we don't understand it. We cannot judge this thing. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes, Vidhu sir.
Yeah, Rajman Vair, I would like to share here.
Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Vidhu sir has raised his hand.
Okay, let me do that later.
Yeah, after Vidhu sir, you can take up, sir.
Right, yeah.
Madhu Babu, like it's a very personal story and it's very relevant to जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. And suppose if you can just switch off the YouTube recording so that I can